Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Bekah Joe, aka the Makeup Tax Lady. Today we are pulling together this fun, crazy look. I have a couple objectives with today's video, and those include playing with some makeup products that I don't regularly reach for in my collection, so you're gonna see a variety of products today. Also, I was recommended by a friend and subscriber to combine some certain shades and palettes, and that's where this look came from, with a little bit of dibble dabble, sparkle, and magic. We are also taking the time in this video to just chat about makeup, whether it's things that are currently on sale for Black Friday or that may be coming up for Black Friday, new launches. I talk through some things in this video just about like where my makeup collection is at and what I want out of this current season of sales. But I love just chatting in the comments. So I would love to hear what you think about Black Friday and other holiday sales, indie brands, makeup in general. Are you buying all the things? Are you not buying all the things? Clearly, we do a little bit of both around here, so there's no shame. I just like to talk about makeup, and you guys are my makeup people. So thank you so much for being here with me for today's video, and let's get right on into it. Hello friends, let's get started into this makeup look. I'm going to start with this. I have a little sample size of Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. I've had this for far too long and still can't use it up. So I'm gonna start by just putting this all over my face. Okay, now that I have that Tarte primer all over my face and it's had a second to sit in, I'm ready to go in with my base product. Just because we're playing with makeup today, I have this Lorac Pro Conceal and Contour Palette. I picked this up this summer at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I'm a big fan of the brand Lorac. I have a few of their things, but I really just find that they have very high quality products. This isn't like my favorite thing to wear day to day, but I have it in my collection, so I want to play with it. It did come with this double-sided brush, so I'm going to take the small end of this brush and pick up this kind of peachy shade here, and we'll see if we can do a little color correction under the eyes. Okay, not bad, not mad about that at all. I think the times I've tried this in the past, I've mostly just dipped the brush straight into the different pans. So we're gonna try it a little bit different today. I'm gonna use this little metal spatula and pick up a few of the shades and kind of mix them on the back of my hand and apply from there. Okay, let's see what this little concoction works out to be. Definitely doesn't have significant amount of coverage. Yeah, definitely not like a full coverage, at least not the way that I'm using it. I'm gonna go back in and make a little bit more. That I made covered like everything eyes and below, so I need to cover my forehead, and then I still got some spots that I'd like to add a little bit more coverage to. For me personally, this is not how I would prefer to do my makeup every day, and I realize that it's probably more of like an artistry thing, and I think it's cool. Like I really like the concept, but for me it's really just a playtime thing, and that's about it. But that's okay. Has its own fun for that purpose too. I know that with this type of product too, having the right base underneath makes a huge difference. So I'm not sure whether that Tarte primer is the correct base, but just having fun with it, just playing tonight. And yeah, this is one that I'm not leaving the house with. Okay, I do want to dip back in here, but I'm gonna go straight in with the brush this time and pick up this shade, maybe a combination of these two, and use those as bronzer or contour. I will say that leaves a nice matte finish on the skin, and from a distance I think it looks nice on the skin. If I get in close, it looks more makeup-y than I prefer, but it's fun. It's fun to play with. So I want to reach into the palette to grab one of these shimmers. This whole bottom row is kind of highlighter-y, and I think I want to grab this one just with my finger, and I'll use it just on the tops of my cheeks. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything down with my Sydney Grace Cloud9 setting powder. This is the jar that is almost empty. I'm taking every last drop that it has to offer before opening a new one. I know I have a Lorac powder somewhere, but I'm not sure where it's at the moment. So I will use this Sydney Grace powder instead, which I love this powder. In the vein of trying to use products that I don't use day to day, I was going to reach for something else, but that's okay. Okay, in the brows, I want to use this Precisely My Brow pencil from Benefit. I believe this is the shade 3. This is like so old. Like, here's the shade. It's like so old. But I should use it because I have it. So I'm just going to use this to draw in just a little bit in the sparse areas. I think this is one of those like cult favorite products. And the fact that I've had it for, I don't even know how long, and it still does something pretty impressive, I would say. And now going in with my half-caked Get Fluffed. This is the shade 1.0, which is just a clear shade. Gonna use this to set my brows. And now I'm adding some About Face eyeshadow primer. I think I'm ready to get into the eyeshadow. I'm still seeing a lot of the bronze from that Lorac palette. I can go back in and add powder bronzer if I want to later. And I definitely will be doing blush after the eyeshadow. So let's get into our eyeshadow look. As per suggestion by this friend and subscriber, I will be using the Ensley Reign Cosmic Dreamer palette today, reaching into the pinks and greens of this palette and combining them with the yellows and golds of the Strawberry Moon palette. If you are not new here, you know just how much I love to play with my Ensley Reign palettes and products that I have from them in general. So any excuse to pull out these palettes is a welcome excuse. I am not yet sure what I want this look to be today, but I'm kind of thinking of starting with the yellows in the Strawberry Moon. Maybe we'll do a halo eye because those are fun. All right, we're just going for it. Using my Sydney Grace angled eye brush that doesn't have a name on it. I do have another one with the name on it. E05. I love this brush. I use it all of the time. I want to dip into the shade Radiant from the Strawberry Moon palette, and I'm going to use this to start building the shape of our halo eye today. This is a beautiful golden yellow shade, but it's definitely one that I don't reach for regularly. There's nothing wrong with it, just not a shade that I tend to wear on the day-to-day. But it is so fun to play with colorful eyeshadow. I go through phases all the time, and I've talked about this before, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again, because I'm sure I'll go through more future phases. I'm taking a Sierra Martin 3D8 brush into that same yellow shade. I go through phases of preferring neutral looks, preferring colorful looks. Summertime this year, I really got into the colorful looks and just have had so much fun playing with colorful eyeshadow in a way that I don't know that I have before. At this point, like, colorful eyeshadow is really what inspires me. Like, I still enjoy neutral eyeshadow and I like neutral eyeshadow, neutral like browns, but what inspires me, what excites me is the colorful eyeshadow and playing in colorful eyeshadow and combining different colors. And since I don't necessarily wear vibrant and bold colorful looks on the day-to-day, it gets me really excited when I get to play with my makeup and just take opportunities like this to really just dig in and have fun. And I don't need it to look, you know, presentable for any particular occasion. This is just for me. And this is just for us to enjoy and appreciate beautiful, colorful makeup. Okay, next using this Sydney Grace like domed, it's not a packing brush, but it's denser than just a fluffy brush. Anyway, I will reach into this shade Eclectic and use this to deepen up the halo eye. I know that Ensley Reign is releasing, I'm not exactly sure when this video is going up, but they are releasing a more neutral eyeshadow palette, and I have no lack of excitement for that palette. Everything that Ensley Reign releases and announces just gets me so excited. I love their brand for so many reasons, and I really enjoy using their products. I have not purchased the little 6-pan, although they have 2 of them out right now. I'm considering picking them up with the launch of the new palette. Haven't fully decided that just yet, but yeah, I think that newer palette that they're coming out with. Light in Your Eyes, I believe is the name of it. That palette is definitely like a neutral with a twist. Like, it's something about Ensley Reign is that everything that they release is a little bit more than standard. Like a little bit more like better quality. It's got a little bit more interesting factor to it, in my opinion, right? Makeup is all opinion, and that's okay if we don't agree on that. That's just kind of like my opinion and in my experience with the brand. I play with their products and I talk about the brand Ensley Reign all of my own desire and excitement and merit. Like, there's nothing that the brand is doing to me or for me to make me want to talk about them. It's just when you love something, you want to talk about it. You want to play with it. I have several cats and I love talking about my cats. Anyone who knows me in person, you know that once you get started talking to me about my cats, I can go on and on forever, right? Like multiple cats that each have their own personalities, they each have a funny story from the last week, let alone the last month, on and on and on. And I also love talking about Ensley Reign. Most of the people in my everyday life are not into makeup the way that I am, which is a-okay. We all have our own interests and hobbies, but it's a perfect outlet for me to be here with you guys because we get to talk about all of the things that we love, be it Ensley Reign, be it colorful or neutral eyeshadow, be it new makeup, be it playing with makeup that we already had, whether it's learning new tips, tricks, and techniques or new products, brushes, whatever, right? Like, we just get to have fun with it and we just get to talk about it with each other, and it's so much fun. Okay, so I think we're getting like the theme here, that we are probably, I think I want to use the pinks on the lower lash line. My eyes are less watery today than they have been a lot lately, so hopefully we don't have any issues with that. Speaking of my cats causing trouble, once again, who is surprised? Before moving on to the pinks on the lower lash line, I want to dip into Intergalactic using this Sierra Martin D6 brush and just add that to where we have the green, just like combining mattes lately, just like adding a little bit more dimension with something a little bit different. So speaking of things that we love around here, we love to save money on makeup. However, we do not love spending money on makeup just because it's on sale. Just because it maybe is a fantastic product and you might love it, but if you're anything like me, I'm like overwhelmed right now thinking of all the Black Friday sales that are and that will be coming. And like 2 weeks ago, I would have told you like, I'm ready. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what the brands do. I can pick a few things, I can pick and choose. And right now I'm like, either what I would want the most is out of stock, or the sale just doesn't quite get me, or maybe there's that one product from that one brand, but I'm not going to get free shipping, and the cost of the shipping on that product would bring it back to its regular price, so it doesn't feel like a sale, even though maybe it is in the grand scheme of things. I have beautiful makeup in front of me, and I get excited about playing with makeup, not just about the prospect of getting new makeup. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy playing with new makeup. I enjoy getting new makeup, but I also just like my makeup. Forgive my cat. I need to get onto him. Taking this Refer 13 brush, I'm gonna go back into Strawberry Moon and dip into this pale yellow called Sunkissed. I know that I don't have to buy anything in these Black Friday sales, and there's a chance that I will buy little to nothing in the Black Friday sales, and then just allow myself that, like, if, you know, whether it's that product that comes back in stock, I can buy it when it comes back in stock and I don't have to feel bad about it. I mean, most of these indie brands, the ones that, you know, excite me, that I'm curious to try, have affiliate codes. So it makes it easier that, you know, I can always justify in some sense I'm getting some discount on the purchase price, but I like to save the money when I can save the money, you know? Going back to Cosmic Dreamer now with this Sierra Martin D something brush, I've worn it off. I'm gonna dip into this brighter pink Visionary and start to add this to the lower lash line. Let's do like the same halo shape on the lower lash line. Now it's a lot of pigment. Neat. Funny to think about. It was this time last year when I purchased my very first Ensley Reign product. It was the Flower Moon palette, the original previous Flower Moon palette, and this is top-notch palette in my entire collection and has kicked off my love for Ensley Reign and the fact that I do talk about them so much and the fact that I do purchase so many of their products. I'm just wiping off this brush and then I'm gonna go in with the lighter pink matte here, Dreamscape, and use this to just like further blow out that brighter pink. I'm really getting a little bit carried away with this shade, but that's okay. I'm gonna go back in with the shade Intergalactic, this like grungier brownie green shade, and using this like flat liner brush from Sydney Grace, I'm gonna go in and add that as liner, tucked up against the lash line on the lower lash to kind of integrate the top lash line and the lower lash line. So please let me know which Black Friday sales you are purchasing from, interested in. I still have not decided. There are a few that I am very possibly going to pick up from. Like I already mentioned, Ensley Reign. Of course, pretty much the items that Ensley Reign has on sale right now I have, but their release is on my list. Because I have the Strawberry Moon palette in front of me too, I'm gonna dip into both of these shades and continue to just like create that depth on the portions where I just put the brownie shade on my lower lash line. This is such a fun little liner brush, especially for the lower lash line, because it really lets me like get under my lashes up close to the lash line, of course. So it's a nice small brush for that. And it makes the blending like easy, like creating a line and then just kind of wiggling to blend it out. Okay, so now I'm taking this Rephr pencil brush. This is a 03, and I'm gonna use these two shades, Eclectic and Intergalactic, and bring the shape of the top lash line out just a little bit more, just to kind of meet where the pinky and purpley shades are going. Going get back in with that fluffy Rephr brush and this pale yellow, and adding that again to the top lash line just to keep everything nice and blended on the outer corners. Okay, I am loving it. I want to go from here. I thought I wanted to start with this shade, Astral Plane, and maybe we'll come back to that, but I want to go into Lucidity for the top lash, like starting the outer portions of the center of the halo eye. I'm just using the tip of my finger to do this. Such a gorgeous shade. And a little bit goes a long way with this shade. Oh, this palette is so fun. And it's so cool because it's such a good balance between earthy tones and bright, colorful tones. We can do so many different things with a pop of color or keep it earthy or what have you. Like there are so many fun options with this palette. Back into Strawberry Moon, which I also really enjoy. This one, you're not gonna get much of that like earthy neutral for an option, but you have so many beautiful mattes and shimmers. The textures of the shimmers in this palette are just fantastic. So I'm gonna reach into Golden Glow here and use that as the center on the top of my halo eye. So gorgeous. Once more with my fluffy Rephr brush, I'm reaching into Radiant, and I want to add just a little bit more pop of this color on the top lash, like just where the green mattes come out. I want more yellow. I'm just very gently taking that shade and like kind of flicking it, like starting where the mattes are and then flicking outward from there. Very gentle and very small motions. But it's adding back in that pop of yellow that I wanted. Because this brush is so fluffy, it really does a nice job of kind of blending as you go. I'm taking that shade just a little bit under the outside corner over here as well. I'm gonna dip back into Cosmic Dreamer and reach for the shade Cosmic Queen. And this is one of my favorite shades in this palette. This is so pretty. I'm going to use this under my eyes and kind of like draw it down, kind of like I did in my Ethereal Grunge video. I really want this shimmer to just kind of like draw us in. Taking this clean Give Me Glow G415 brush, I'm just gonna like blur this out, blend it out all over the place. So it's definitely still like concentrated in the center, but it's not only there. I'm gonna go back and forth, like adding more shimmer and then blending it out with this brush. I want like the repeated effect on the top lash line, so I'm gonna go back into Golden Glow and make sure that this is like going high up and even like over and then into my brow. Like I'm literally putting it in my brow. Makeup is so fun. I'm gonna use this MAC Cosmetics Eye Kohl in the shade Power Surge. It's just kind of a pretty olive bronzy metallic eyeliner. I'm gonna use this to line my upper and lower waterlines. I'll add some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, my eyes are still watering just a little bit, but it's your lucky day. We've got false eyelashes. Is it the best false eyelash application? No. I don't care, we're having fun. The eyelashes that I'm wearing are these Kiss Look So Natural. This is the shade Shy. I really like these. These are some of the best that I've ever tried. I'm also using their lash glue liner. This is the clear liner, and I find that this works well. It works better for me than using like a more traditional glue. I use this and just run a line over the top of my top lash line and then use this same pen and run it on like the inside of the lashes themselves. And then I put the lash on and it's nice. I like it. It works well. I've tried that one before in the black and it had like no stickiness to it. So I don't know if it's a difference between like the two different colors, if they're formulated just a little bit differently, if I had a lemon with the other one that I tried. So I like that one and I like these lashes. I did go in with the black sparkle matte shade here called Eclipse from the Cosmic Dreamer palette. Sorry if you couldn't see that, this shade here. And just used a splash of that to line like, to bring the lashes to my most inner corner. I just find that that pulls the whole look together, provides a little more cohesiveness when I'm wearing lashes. I want to add one more element to this eye look, not because it needs it, there's already plenty of color going on, but because I want to. And I want to use an inner corner shade. In the Strawberry Moon palette, this shade Oasis is such a good shade. It's one of my favorites. In general, I love this shade so much. So I want to take this shade and add it to the inner corners. And the like green, like not quite lime green, but like brighter green with the like kind of grungy, murkier greens we've got on the top lash line. That's such a good combo. I'm dancing a little bit on the outside, but I'm dancing a lot on the inside right now. That added such a cool pop to this already poppin' look. I am happy with the level of bronze that I still have right now, so I'm not going to add any more bronzer. I want to go into my Kosas. This is one of the like mini blushes from the set of 3. This is the shade Blissed. It's just a pretty like peachy pinky shade, but not too peachy or pinky really. And I think it'll be a nice complement to all the other colors on the face. I'm very happy with that blush color. Normally I would go for something more in like the true pink color that I've got in the lower lash line, but something about that more earthy tone, I think kind of helps pull this look together. I like it. I like it a lot. Now I want to go back into Cosmic Dreamer and take the shade here, Stargazer, with this eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use this as highlighter. It's definitely like a piecier formula, a little bit chunkier, but that's okay. It's still fun. Hopefully you can see that splash of chunky highlighter on the cheeks. Okay, let's do lips. I'm going to use a couple of these Give Me Glow lip liners. This is the shade Dirty Blonde of the swatches on the back of my hand. It's the one all the way over on this side. I'm going to use this to line my lips and maybe fill them in just a little bit. Okay, next I want to dip into the deepest shade here. This is called Whiskey and Honey. So this is like a deep yellowy shade. I'm going to use this on the edge outside of where I put that previous shade just to give us a little bit more dimension. It's a fun like grungy lip, right? Like that's not one that I do on a regular basis. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit fun. I want to add, I have this MAC Lippy in shade Over the Taupe. This is a Powder Kiss Velvet Blur Slim Stick, and I'm going to use this as my lipstick. This is a pretty color. Let me swatch it It's like a little bit pinky, but still a nude shade. And if you know me, you know that if I'm doing a nude shade, I like a little bit of pinkiness to it. I want to go back in with Whiskey and Honey and add just a little bit more of this to my lips. All right, for my finishing touch, I'm going to reach into Sydney Grace Lip Topper. This is the shade Alice. This is just a pretty like neutral, kind of coppery shade. I'm going to add just a little bit of this to the lips. Alrighty folks, here we are. Here is the final look. The face doesn't match in any way, the hair and the sweatshirt, but we're just hanging out at home, having fun, playing with beautiful makeup, chatting about makeup because that's what we love to do around here. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of this look and what should my next color combination and or palette combination be? I love when you guys provide me a little bit of a challenge, so let's see what we can do for the next playing with makeup video. This colorful shimmer explosion on my face was such a good perk for my mood. Like we talked about, seeing all of the different activities, sales, and all of the makeup things happening online right now, it's easy for me to feel overwhelmed. And I love so many of the products that I have in front of me, and I really just enjoy playing with good makeup. I don't always need to buy new makeup, even if it's a really good deal. That's not to say I won't. Like I said, there's a good chance that I will still make a purchase, but let me know in the comments, what is it that you're looking for Black Friday or holiday sales? What brands or products are you looking for? Are you hoping to see? Have you made a zillion purchases already? If so, good for you. Let me know what's worth it for me to get during this season. And yeah, I would love to continue the conversation in the comments, so please feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to my channel, I'd love it if you'd consider becoming a subscriber. And I thank you so much for being here for today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.